This might actually be the trickiest college supplemental essay question. Sometimes it looks like this, and other times like this. Now, I know it can be tempting to enter an existential spiral when your dream school hits you with a prompt like this, but pause. Let's take a breath. I'm Kevin, your virtual big brother, and over the next 7 to 8 minutes, I'll share my top 6 tips for tackling the challenge essay. Tip number 1, this doesn't have to be your problem. In fact, it's very attractive to a college admissions officer to know that you're not just capable of solving your own problems, but also the problems of those around you. One of the most profound essays that I've ever read was from this middle class student who talks about her little brother and TikTok. A lot of you guys are always asking me, what's one of the best essays you've ever read? Well, this is it. Because The Secret of Santa was ruined for me when I was 6, I've always made a special effort to protect my brother's innocence. But this year, my 12-year-old brother received his first iPhone. He immediately downloaded TikTok, whereupon he was exposed to some disturbing sexual content and started asking me what rape was and why parts of people's bodies determine their likes and worth on their posts. While I considered forcing him to use a child account, I knew that many of his friends were also exposed to and talking about these topics. So, that week, I explained the importance of consent, time, and place, while also stressing how to respect the beliefs of others around him, since different cultures had different perspectives on body image and sexuality. Although I can't always protect his naivety, I've learned I can compassionately guide my brother with patience and empathy. Why is this essay so good? Yes, the content is solid, but the structure is fantastic too. First off, we begin with a mix of a problem hook, but also a mission hook. What do I mean by that? In the very first sentence, we don't just learn about the core issue, but also the applicant's intention and motivation. Trust me when I say admission officers have a ton of essays to get through, and they really appreciate this directness, particularly in those shorter supplemental essays. Now, in that middle section, we're exposed to more details related to the problem. This brings me to tip number 2, write about moral or ethical issues. I'm guessing most of you haven't been exposed to life or death scenarios. But chances are there's been a time where you've had to deal with cheating, bullying, or navigating a difficult conversation about discrimination, racism, abortion, politics, social media, etc. Also, some schools have a disagreement essay where they ask you to talk about a difficult discussion. Work smart, not hard. You can totally recycle that essay here. Note that your problem or challenge doesn't have to be fundamentally unique. In fact, the reason the essay we just looked at works is precisely because it's so vulnerable and relatable. That said, I will say it does help if your solution is unique. In fact, the more creativity you can imbue into what you did, the higher your odds of getting in. Here is a totally made up example. Let's say you're teaching math to a middle schooler, Jared. And Jared just isn't getting quadratic equations. So, to help him out, you fuse your love for doodling and animation with algebra to help him understand the concepts better. Or perhaps you cook up some algebra memes and jokes to make the process just way more enjoyable. When it comes to the challenge essay, it's really not about the challenge itself. It's really about how you navigated the challenge. But here's the craziest part. The solution's not even the most important part. The most important part is this. Tip number 4, insight into the experience. Let's return to that awesome essay from a few minutes ago and really study that last line. Although I can't always protect his naivety, I've learned I can compassionately guide my brother with patience and empathy. What a profound, mature realization. The older sibling admits that they're still learning to navigate that precious balance between letting go while also guiding with compassion. Furthermore, they argue that the root of compassion is patience and empathy. Honestly, a 10 out of 10 insight. Before I share my last 2 tips, it would personally mean the world to me if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. That simple act really helps spread more of our free content to amazing students like yourself. And if you'd like your challenge essay or any college essay professionally edited, check out our website, www.elevated.school/editmyessay. Use the discount code YouTube15 to get 15% off your first edit. Tip number 5, write about funny problems. This past spring, I interviewed another admissions counselor who graduated from Brown, and she told me her essay was about trying to stop these baby spiders from infiltrating her bedroom. She rode her bike to the hardware store, picked up some spider repellents, glue, screens, honestly all kinds of stuff to try and keep those creepy crawlers away. Guys, this is a totally valid approach to this question. And honestly, this response showcases a ton of humor and proactivity. Don't think that your obstacle has to be something on the scale of a zombie apocalypse or nuclear fallout to work. Which brings me to my sixth and final tip: steal like an artist. You guys ready to have your mind blown? Whenever you see a model essay, do this exercise. Remember that awesome final line from before? Well, here it is again. Now let's boil down this sentence to its bones. Although I can't blank, I've learned I can blank through blank and blank. All we have to do now is literally fill in the blanks with our own story. Let's try with the spider example. Although I can't stop every spider from infiltrating my bedroom, I've learned that resourcefulness is a combo of proactivity and execution. Now let's try again with the Jared math example. Although Jared and I haven't become Nobel Prize winning logicians yet, I've learned that math is less about solving for X and more about solving for understanding. I wrote them like 15 minutes ago, but hopefully you get the idea. The goal here is to just help you get jump started and cut down your writing time by a lot. Here's a present for watching until the end, a breakdance clip, and a link to our Supplemental Essay Ivy League Masterclass playlist where I answer every single college essay question known to man. Enjoy!